welcome back to another episode. So, had this idea where I picked 5 games from a particular console that I would take with me to a desert island that had a solar panel, a TV, and an Xbox 360 on it. So, I picked 5 games and why I'd take them. Now, I'm not cheating. None of these are my favourites. None of these are me going, Brutal Legend again for the 40 billionth time. No. These are 5 games for the Xbox 360 that I have selected from my fairly extensive collection. But I have 2 rules. Number 1, they have to be different genres, which they are mostly. 2 shooters. And no compilations. That's cheating. It's like me going, oh, it's for the Sega Saturn Sonic Jam because it gives me 3 Sonic games on it. Why not? No. 5 different games. All games I can play pretty much ad nauseum. I can play them forever. And there's a strong reason why. It's because they're freaking good. So, we'll start from the first. So I've picked a strategy game, a sort of multiplayer shooter. So I'm assuming here the console has online capability and people are still playing online. A single player shooter, a shoot 'em up, and an open world game. So we'll start in reverse order with the open world game. Now there's a lot on here. There's GTA 4, GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption, Arkham City. I picked Crackdown. And I'll tell you for why. Crackdown is, over the second one in particular, Crackdown is, was my introduction to open world games. It just was, period. I bought this game way back in the day. This is my original copy, I don't think. No, it isn't. No, it's not my original copy. I did have the OG one, but I think the disc scratched or something ridiculous. But it was my introduction to open world games. I'd played like 10 minutes of GTA around a friend's house, but my mum was like, can't play that. So, as a result, I'm 15. I see Crackdown on the shelf for like a $5, because it had come out year before. And for some reason it was cheap as fuck. No idea why. And I bought it, and I was like, yeah, okay, let's give Crackdown a go. Let's try this out. And what I found was you are a super-powered, genetically engineered mega cop who is tasked with taking down 3 separate crime gangs. And the real key... And each of these crime gangs have a hierarchy. And so you got your boss, then you got sort of the more difficult ones, then you got the just sort of generic trash. And the thing was, the more of the lower trash you took out, the less defenses the top boss had. But you could still go straight for the top boss if you really wanted to. You can go for the most difficult to kill guy in the game if you want to. It's a bit harder, seeing as you don't have, well, any abilities by this point, but you slowly level up by doing stuff. The more you shoot, the better you get at shooting. The more you punch stuff, the stronger you get. The more you run, the faster you run. The more agility orbs that you collect, the higher you can jump. All sorts of crazy stuff. You had vehicles that evolved alongside you. You have so much complexity, which you don't get with a lot of open worlds anymore. The only other game I've actually really seen do something similar was Shadow of War. Yeah, and Shadow of Mordor, which, yeah, I could have picked Shadow of Mordor, but... that's astoundingly cool. Like, that is genuinely very, very cool, and the reason I like Crackdown so much, it's my favourite one of the series. I've played 2, I've played a little bit of 3 since the last time I talked about 3. It's okay. It really is just this. It's Crackdown 1.5. But Crackdown 1 is really, really good. Like, it has aged phenomenally. Whilst the second one did introduce co-op, which was cool, even though you could play co-op on this, yeah, you can have two cops running around the overworld, which is sick as balls. So if I'm marooned with someone else on a desert island, there we are. But the ability to tackle any of these bosses in any order you want adds so much replayability. Like, yeah, you know, I haven't actually played Crackdown 1 in a fucking long time. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bust the 360 out, grab a bunch of games out and play them in a really long time, and play the shit out of it. Because I really actually want to play this again. So that's going on my play next pile. Yeah, I should do a play next pile. Next on the list, I'm not a big shoot 'em up fan. I don't like Ikaruga. I do. It's okay. It's okay. Most shoot 'em ups are just distinctly okay. And I think I talked about this game recently. I have very slight memories of it, but Death Smiles, the deluxe edition. Now, I was waiting an extraordinarily long time for this. I think I talked about it in my 2010 video. So I won't dwell on Death Smiles too much, but it's got a lot of different characters. It's got an absolute bucket load of content. You can choose multiple paths with those multiple characters, and it's a quick fire arcade game. It is an arcade port. Like, that's just distinctly what it is. And the thing with most of these shoot 'em ups, they're not very long because they rely on, well, difficulty. It's not that hard. Death Smiles isn't that hard. It has a charm to it I just really like. So it made the most sense. I did actually have another game here, which was Arkham Knight. Arkham City. And I was like, do I put Arkham City or do I put Crackdown and Crackdown 1 out? So I was like, I can't have two of them well games. Death Smiles. In fact, yeah, out of all the games there, Death Smiles was the one that really stood out to me the most. Okay. The single player shooter. Now, I know I've got two shooters on this list. I don't really care. But this is a game that even now I go back to over and over and over again because the combat is just genuinely that good. It's fast paced. There's a lot of different enemy variety. It's got a horde mode in its DLC, which I do own. I don't have the complete version of this game, but I'd probably just take that to my desert island where I'm alone forever, maybe with someone to play Crackdown 2 with, Crackdown 1. But it's Bioshock Infinite. And now I could have picked the original, I could have picked 2, but this is the one I always come back to. Every single time I go, I'm going to play Bioshock, it's this one. It's always this one. And I don't really know why. Because it's one of those games I can just put in, blitz through in about a week. A few days. Blitz through in like 2 or 3 days, and then put down again, and then maybe like 2 months later pick it up and do the exact same thing. It's really weird. It's really super weird. But I like it. I play it so much, and it's one of those games I just have flat out never gotten tired of, which is rare for me. There are many, many, many games I get bored of really fucking quickly. Bioshock Infinite is not one of them. So it's probably something I wouldn't play every single day, but I'd be like, right, I've been marooned here for 3 months, I'm going to play Bioshock Infinite again. Its DLC really adds to that. There's one called Clash in the Clouds, which is sort of a round-based horde mode where you take out, like, you have different challenges to take out different sets of enemies in the most effective way possible, which is really, really cool. I've sunk loads of time into that. It has a lot. It has a lot to offer. So, yeah, Bioshock Infinite. Love it. Now, there are a lot of multiplayer shooters. I could have picked Halo. I could have picked Gears of War. I could have picked Left 4 Dead. I could have picked the Orange Box. I could have picked, hell, let's be fair, I could have picked Darkness 2. That had a multiplayer mode. Yeah. I picked Shadowrun. Now, before anyone lynches me, this is just basically Counter-Strike with magic. And it plays like Counter-Strike with magic. And it's cool as fuck. I have played the ever-loving shit out of this game. I go back to it time and time and time again. I mean, I was playing it online right up until a few years ago. That's how, yeah. That's how much I was actually still playing this game. I still bust it in and play against bots fairly regularly. It's probably one of my favourite... So, you always have those early games with a console. And Shadowrun was actually one of my earliest. So, my early ones were Gears of War, Halo 3, Overlord, Cameo, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, Assassin's Creed, Mass Effect, and then... Oh, and Viva Pinata and Lost Planet. And then Universe at War, which was sick, by the way. The Darkness, the Orange Box, and Shadowrun. Those were really the early games. I was buying whenever I had money, or at one point I was like, hey mum, can you go into town? She came back with The Darkness. That was cool. I was 15, and it's not a 15. But yeah, I picked up Shadowrun, and I've been playing it ever since. I've been playing this game for 17 years, and it came out in 2007, so I've been playing it a very long time, and I'm still playing it. I don't think Phaser Studio is around anymore, which is a bit of a pity, but yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I didn't know about the Shadowrun RPG. Even nowadays, I don't really give a shit. I don't care. The ability to play what is ostensibly Counter-Strike with magic, okay, yes please, very much. And the thing is, I would probably keep playing against bots or against people online on that desert island for months. Like, there was no real progression, because it's like Counter-Strike. You just start off the map, buy some stuff, and then each round you, depending on your performance, you get enough money to sort of build your loadout, and you can adapt, and you never know what one person is going to have. There's like a multitude of different weapons. There's a multitude of different magics. Some person could be running around with a katana, which they can then fuse with something called wired reflexes, which essentially allows them to block bullets, which is fucking insane. Or you'll have someone who focuses extensively on healing, so they'll summon life-giving trees, or they'll resurrect their allies. Other people will have Gust, which allows them to just blend. There was a lot of synergy with the different things you could purchase, and that was cool. That was cool. Not like, it's not like everything bounced off of everything, but there were certain things that just lent themselves to that. So if you had a glider, allowed you to glide, you could teleport, extend the gliding range, you could cast Gust and it would increase your height, loads of stuff. If you had Gust, you could throw it at someone who's using smoke. That's the only way to damage them. Loads of different applications for all of these different abilities, and that kept it fresh all the time. Like, every time I play that, admittedly, every time I play that game, I end up investing in the crystal, like, grows crystals in the environment. They damage you, and they drain your magic, so shit. The minion, which is summons a giant demon that rips apart anybody you either targeted at or patrols an area, so it's versatile. They're all versatile. Every power is versatile, except for, like, resurrection. That does one thing, but yeah. It really does lend itself to... I like it. It's a really solid multiplayer. I don't think I played a multiplayer I've enjoyed quite as much, apart from maybe Reach. I played a lot of the multiplayer. I played Gears of War online. I played Gears of War 2, 3. Lost Planet. I played Mass Effect 3's multiplayer so fucking much. It was mad. I played it to death. What else did I play? Brink. Played Brink a lot. Real Tournament, Section 8, Enemy Territory Quake Wars. The reason Shadowrun sort of beat out a lot of those ones is it's just strictly based on its loadout. Its loadouts are so incomprehensibly varied that it just made sense. So that's number 4. The final game on Desert Island Games for the 360 is a strategy game. It isn't Universe at War. I know I said that was my favourite in my top 10 a few weeks ago, but or last week, whenever the hell it was. But this one is one I played extensively with my friends. I think I mentioned it a while ago I also mentioned it in the 2010 one. It is, well, it's Red Faction 3. Oh, sorry, Red Alert 3. It's Red Alert 3. Yeah, what can I say about Red Alert 3? 3 extensive campaigns, each one voiced with freaking George Takei and Tim Curry and J.K. Simmons and Jonathan Pierce. They're all in this. And they're all... Yeah. You've got 3 separate factions, all of which are fun to play as. I only play as one. I only play as Empire of the Rising Sun because I like my Japanese Mega Death Navy. My version even came with a poster of all the attractive ladies in the video game. Yay. I think this girl went on to be in The Mandalorian and made some controversial statements that sounded fairly uneducated, but I could be horribly wrong. To be fair, I always preferred the Japanese girl, strictly because, well, she wasn't scantily clad. She wore cool Mega Death boots. But why this one over, say, I don't know, Universe at War or Lord of the Rings, Battle for Middle-earth 2 or Halo Wars or hell, Stormrise? There's a reason it's over Stormrise, because that game's shit. But Red Alert 3, hell, Kane's Wrath. Why not? You know, why that one specifically? To be perfectly honest with you, it's because it's fucking hilarious. It's really funny. A lot of the game faction, all the game factions are extremely varied. They play very differently. The original 2 are sort of restricted by where they can build. They can only build one thing at a time, whilst Empire of the Rising Sun can just spread out across the map like a giant fucking virus. But each of their building units, they have to build the unit and then they have to build the building. So it actually sort of slows them down, but it means they can branch out pretty quickly. You can just spread across the map with them, which is really cool. Yeah, it's the last good Red Alert game. I mean, what came out after this? 3. What came after this? 4. Red Alert 4, and then Generals 2 was supposed to come out, and then the series fucking died. So yeah, I'll die on the hill of this is one of the best strategy games on the Xbox 360. It fucking is. It was the last good Command & Conquer game. It fucking was. And yeah, it's a shame really. Unless Kane's Wrath came out after this, but I don't think it did. I think it was this. I think it was Kane's Wrath, then Red Alert 3. Bought this the same year actually as yeah, I know it came out in 2008, but I got it in 2009 when I had money, and I bought it just after Halo Wars 1, sorry. And I played the shit out of both. But Red Alert 3 quickly took over as one of my favourites. Only really overshadowed by Universe at War's sheer asymmetry. But yeah, that is the Xbox 360 version of Desert Island Games. So these are the 5 games I would take to a desert island to play on a 360. And you know what? I'd like to think I've got a good, well-rounded mix with a lot of gameplay potential that can keep me going until I go completely crazy and start talking to a football. So, yeah. That's me done for another week. I'll probably do another one of these because it was quite fun. I don't know when. I'm not going to I'm not going to go, hey, Desert Island PS5 or Desert Island Wii U or Desert Island GameCube anytime soon. But I will do it because I like talking about these games. I like being like, hey, I buy this and play it on a desert island. That's really cool. But yeah, that's me done for another week. We'll see what we do next week. Maybe a pickup video. I've bought a lot of stuff. I have a new console, which is exciting. I think I have some additional games. Do I have some additional games? I may have some additional games, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, that's me signing off. Have a good week, and I'll see you next time.